What's up, fellas? Good morning. It's your boy Darkkell coming to you from the rig with another informative video, man. Alright, man. So today we are going to talk about company drivers, new drivers that are planning on moving into the owner-operator world, experiencing it for the first time. Okay? We're going to talk about two different kind of owner-operators here, and when you should get a new truck and when you shouldn't. So here we go. So if you're a company driver, you got your CDL, you've been driving company for about a year, 2 years, you know what it's like to be on the road, but you're a company driver. When you have breakdowns or anything happens, you just pull off, you call your dispatch or you call tracking and say, hey, and they send someone out roadside. You don't have to worry about covering those bills. You just basically, you don't pay for fuel, you're not calculating fuel, you're just counting miles. Or you might be on a salary pay, you're getting, you know what you're gonna get, you're not paying for tolls. You're comfortable, you're just riding, but you're out there for 2 to 3 weeks at a time before you can come home. And when you come home, you work 2 weeks, they want to give you like 2 days off, 3 days off only. You have to go back. You're working for the man, and it's sweet. It's good because you don't have the stress of dealing with the owner operator stuff like breakdowns and calculating fuel and all that crap. So okay, good. But let's say you're a company driver now and you're ready to become an owner-operator. You've been talking to people out there, other truckers, they're like, hey man, you should go to owner-operator, that's where the real money's at. Because it's true. Company driver, if you stay out there and you do good miles, depending on the company you work for, like Maybach right now, it's a good company to work for as a company driver. They start you off real good. I think they start you off around 60 cents a mile, I believe now. So, but with the right experience. But if you're new, just got your CDL, you will have to go to one of the mega carriers like Snyder or Prime or one of them, or Warner. I think to come to Maybach, you have to have, as a company driver, I believe you got to have at least 6 months of proof that you've been driving. So that's what it is. Because I consider Maybach a big company already. We're about 500 plus trucks. When I started with Maybach, we were only like 30 or 40 trucks, so strictly owner operators. Now we have company, we have leasing programs, owner operators, and all that. But it's still not a mega company like Snyder, these companies where they'll take drivers right out of driving school. So that's what it is. So anyway, let's get back to it. You're a company guy, you want to experience the owner operator world. Alright, so here we go. I recommend, remember, this is your boy Darkkell's opinion. If you want to experience the owner operator world, I recommend that you do a 1-year contract. Just call Snyder if you're already in Snyder. If you're in Snyder, you're in the best company in the world. You're in the best company in the world. Go Pumpkin Patch. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I'm biased because your boy Darkkell, I am from the Pumpkin Patch. I am Snyder. I am the Snyder way. No matter what, Snyder's always gonna have a piece in my heart, man. I'm orange. I bleed orange in my heart still, man. Snyder all the way. That's where I came from. And I think I've made the best choice. I think I went to one of the greatest companies to start with. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Anyway. Snyder has a real good program. Now, if you're looking to buy a truck, the Snyder also does a program with Snyder Finance where they'll sell you a truck, like a lease to own, and you can go to the carrier. No. But if you want to just experience the owner-operator world, you're not ready to go out there and buy, like make a big purchase and start your own company. You want to experience the owner-operator, see if it's for you. Snyder, in my opinion, has the best program because it's called the IC program, Independent Contracted Program with Snyder National. So basically what it is you'll go on a 1, a 2, or a 5-year plan, okay? I think they have a 4-year as well. There's 1, 2, or 4, or 5. Matter of fact, I don't even know if they're doing the 1 year. I know when I did the 1-year program. But I highly recommend them because you're going to be with a mega carrier and they give you a fuel card. When you're in IC, you can fuel anywhere in all the major truck stops. As a company driver, you can only fuel Pilot, Flying J. But when you're in IC, you can fuel in all the mega fuel pumps. So they give you a brand new truck, okay? They give you a brand new truck, and you're leasing it, so you'll be fixing the repairs. But you have a maintenance account that they take out, so they're helping you build your maintenance. They're showing you how to be an owner operator. You get fuel discounts. Like I said, they take out money for your maintenance. They pay for your tolls. I don't know if they still do that. I know when I was there, they did that. Okay, when I was there, they did that. And so you got the backup side. And the best thing is that you get to book your loads. You learn how to book loads. Because Snyder, what they do is that they have their own low board. That's a Snyder low board. That's strictly only for Snyder owner operators, all right? And what it is basically Snyder books the loads already. They take their cut, and your cut is the money you see on the Snyder low board. That's what you're gonna make. You don't have to calculate it. You gotta take a percentage out of it. What is on there is what it is. That's the money you're gonna get. So I recommend that you go through a company like Snyder for at least a year or 2 years. Get your feet wet. Learn how to be out there as an owner operator, calculating fuel, calculating tolls, breaking down on the road, having to be in dealers on the road, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Controlling when you go home, how much time you take off. Because when you're in IC, you can take as much time as you want off, but that truck payment's still rolling. You know what I'm saying? It teaches you how to control, how to get, the understanding of being an owner operator, the freedom of being an owner operator. Now, let's talk about buying a truck as a new driver. When you go to Snyder Finance, they're going to want to tie you into a 5-year program. They're going to hit you with that. Oh, 5-year program. In 5 years, the truck is going to be yours. You'll have that truck paid off at the end of the 5-year program. But here's the problem with this, guys. You got to be very smart when you're going into an owner operator world. Because yes, you can go to Snyder and do the 5-year program with them. That truck, after 350,000 miles or like 400,000 miles, that warranty's done. And you're going to hit that mark by your 3rd year. You'll hit that mark and you're done. That's it. Your warranty's gone. So, then what happens is these newer trucks. When I did the IC program the first time, when I did the 1 year, I had a 2015 Cascadia, and that truck was great. Oh my God, that truck didn't really give me no problems. Thank God. It was a smooth year. I learned how to book loads. I had some breakdowns here and there, but Snyder had my back. It was a good year. You know what I'm saying? And then I made the mistake because they wanted to renew my contract, and they wanted me to put me on the 5-year plan so that you stay with them. Because remember, they're making about 30 or 35% of you, and so they can sell you a truck. And I didn't stay in the IC program, but I did get into a lease to own program with them, just because I wanted to stay with Snyder. You know what I'm saying? So I took a truck with Snyder, finance, and that is a mistake. And I had to, apologize to like 2 of my friends that I told to go through there. And out of the 3 of us, only 1 of us still has that truck, and I'm not one of them. Let me tell you, it's real hard to get that title through those bigger carriers when you're going through a lease to own program. The breakdowns, these new trucks, they're good when you're working for a company, or if you're doing like a lease contract, like I'm telling you, for new owner operators. Problem is that most of these new trucks, they have that depth and that region system, and after like 5 years, them shit's a hit. Okay. So anyway, let's go back to the owner, the IC program. If you're new, you want to try an operator, I recommend Snyder National. You go to the IC program and do a 1-year contract to get your feet wet, or 2 years, and then you give them back their truck. By that time, you save them some money, and now you're ready. So let's say now you're ready to buy a truck. I'll get into a story about what happened with me and Snyder Finance in a minute. So let's say you did a 2-year contract with Snyder IC. You've been booking your own loads. You know what it's like to break down, all that. Boom. Remember, you had the 24-hour support and all that. Okay, so now you're ready to go be an owner operator. Here's another mistake guys do. They want to go right away and they want to open their own authority. I want to have my own authority, and I don't want to have to report to nobody. It's my truck and my trailer, and I'm going to book my own loads, and I'm my own authority, my own boss. Yes, and you're going to cover all your bills by yourself too. So here it is. If you manage to save a lot of money while you're doing those 2 years getting ready, and you're sitting on good amount of money, to like enough money to buy a truck, and having money just sitting in the bank for repairs and maintenance and all that, and insurance and all that, then hey, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, if you don't got good credit, don't even think about opening your own authority, going on your own, because you're just gonna fail. Because I'm telling you right now, that's why your boy Darkkell still hasn't. That's why I still haven't opened up the authority to American Chief Transport. Now my family we have a company, O&T National Trucking. That is the family trucking. We've been there in the family for years, and it hasn't worked out because I don't come from a rich family. Your boy Darkkell does not come from a rich family. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I got on my own. I had no help from my family. All right, everything I got on my own. Now I'm gonna tell you now. So my family, they've always been truckers. They own trucks. So they opened this company up, and they've had like 2 of them that have already tried to run the company, and it fails. Why? Because they don't have the amount of money or credit to sustain that company. Listen, when you're out there on your own as an owner-operator with your own authority, you have a major breakdown on the road, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Towing is expensive. The shops break your ass, and everything you got to deal with by yourself. The reason that I'm an owner-operator, I've been driving for about 8 years, and I'm with Maybach, is because Maybach, I give them a cut of what I make. I give them a percentage, okay? But I use their trailer, I use their insurance, they get plates for me, they pay my heavy fuel tax, they pay my IFTA, they do everything for me, and I pay for that stuff, but they do it all for me, you see what I'm saying? And if I have a major breakdown on the road, and it's a lot of money, it's not a stress that I have to be like, oh my God, how am I gonna pay for this? I'm gonna bankrupt myself. Maybach backs me up, and they take it out my check week by week. And that's something that's very important that I've learned. Because I did do, after I left the IC with Snyder National, before I came to Maybach, I worked 6 months with a family company, and I tried to like do it. But I was booking the loads myself, arguing with brokers, you know, when loads were canceled, dealing with the factory company, trying to collect the money from the cat factory company, and driving at the same time, booking loads. It was just, bro, I just felt that it was too much work. You know, if you're gonna have your own authority, that's great. You gotta be financially ready. You gotta have the money to. I recommend that you don't do your own authority unless you own a truck. Now, if you want to open up your own authority to start renting it out to the drivers, that's cool because you'll be making 10% from those drivers. But if those drivers crash, you're getting sued. Those drivers get points, your company gets points. That's the problem right there. So everything has a catch-20. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy where I'm at right now because I got a great relationship with my dispatcher. I got a great relationship with my account lady, and I know the owner of Maybach. Again, when I started with Maybach, there was only 30 to 40 trucks, owner-operated strictly, and now we're 500 plus. I'm proud to say that I've been here. I've seen Maybach grow. But anyway, that's what it is, man. If you're ready to go buy your own truck, now you did IC program, you know that to be owner-operated, you decided, yep, this is for me. I like the independency. I want to be on my own. You got a little money saved up. I recommend that when you go buy a truck, you do not buy a new truck. This is my opinion, guys. Now, if you don't mind having that big truck payment of a new truck, that's cool because you're going to be comfortable. You're going to have warranty. You know what I'm saying? And they're economical. You're paying more at the pump because you pay for theft. But here's the problem, guys. I know that 90 to 95% of the guys that go and put down 20 or 30 grand and put down and get like a Kenworth T680, like a brand new truck. Those trucks are almost 200 grand, all right? If you buy them brand new. You could buy a used one for like 130. You know, so that's still a lot. 90 to 95% of those guys will not pay that note off. They'll end up turning that truck in or they'll refinance it to somebody else. And I'm going to tell you why. Because new trucks are great. They're comfortable. They're pretty. They're beautiful. They're economical. Boom, yeah. But they have all these systems, these motors, these new motors with the DPF, the DEF, and all that. It's garbage, man. You'll be lucky to get 1 million miles out of those trucks before you, and then if you got to rebuild an engine on one of those trucks, oh Lord, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. That's the problem right there. If you're gonna be an owner operator that wants to be in a brand new truck, I recommend that you just get a mindset of leasing a truck, and you know that you're on a 2-year lease. That every 2 years you're gonna get a new truck, and that's that. The truck's always under warranty. That works great. But if you want to be an independent, real owner-operator like your boy Darkkell and many others out there that don't want to be tied down to nobody, it's your equipment, you're responsible for it, you're your own boss 100%. You're going to have a little more breakdowns, a little more maintenance because it's an older truck. But here's the thing, guys. Everybody, you learn by making mistakes, and I made a mistake. My first truck that I actually went to try to buy was a 2016 Freightliner Cascade. Now we're going to get into the Snyder Finance. I bought a 2016, I let them convince me to buy it from them to go to another company. And I did a big mistake. I paid it off for 2 years. The Snyder Finance bill, when you leave, is about $1,000 a week. Okay, it's about $700 some dollars. When you factor into the maintenance account and whatever maintenance they take out, it equals to about anywhere from $800 to $900 some dollars. I said $1,000, but it's a little under. Okay, but that's weekly. Whether you work or not, they want their money. Okay. And if I jackknifed the truck, the truck was out for 6 weeks. When I got the truck back, they wanted all those weeks up front, and I couldn't do it, but I wasn't working. So guess what? I had to trade in the truck. The best thing that ever happened to me. Remember, if you're ready, the Snyder National IC program is a great program, but the Snyder Finance lease to own program to go somewhere else, It's not a smart program, okay? Now, if you don't got no money down, you want to get, and I don't even think they do that anymore. I think you have to put money down anyway. I don't recommend you getting a truck with Snyder Finance. You're better off going to a dealer somewhere and putting that money down. But anyway, but their IC program is good. So that's what it is. Really listen to the video because it's very important you know the difference between taking the truck from Snyder Finance to go somewhere else or doing an IC as under Snyder National. So anyway, what kind of trucks does the boy Darkkell recommend for an owner-operator that already knows what it's like to be an owner-operator, and he got a little money saved up, and you're ready to buy your first truck to be a 100% owner-operator? You're gonna stay away from a brand new truck, and you're gonna stay away from automatics. That's just what it is. Boom, right there. You want to get yourself a truck that's thank God that we still have the right to drive these 99 engines, these trucks that are pre-EOD, which means that you're paper logs. You're not bound by the EOD. Now, if you're a guy that works 2 weeks out on the road or more, that's not a problem for you because that's not an issue. But if you're a guy like me with a family, kids, you want to go home every weekend, EOD's a problem, okay? So anyway, that's that. So for your boy Darkkell, it's 99 or nothing, boy. I'm not going with nothing older than 99 because then they can strap me with EOD and I can get home to my babies. So anyway, but let's say you're just looking for you want to be an owner-operator, you want to go out work 2 weeks out there and you don't care about EOD. You want to get anything 2005 and under, okay? Why 2005? You probably Darkkell, why 2005? I'm going to tell you why. Because all that regen and DPF and all that shit, the DEF started around 2011 is when DEF started. 2010, 2011 is when the DEF trucks started. The regen started in 2006 and up, from what I know, from my experience with trucks I've seen. 2005 trucks and under don't have no regen, no DPF, none of that. Those are just like gliders. You just these and go. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna start out, I recommend that you go with an older truck, but you want to make sure that it's low mileage. Another mistake your boy Darkkell did. My first truck that I bought was a Freightliner Century in 2005. I knew what to look for. I bought the right year, the right motor. Had a Detroit 60 14-liter in there with no regen or nothing, but it had 837,000 miles on it. And once you have a truck with that many miles on it, you're gonna start having problems. Plus, it came with a problem. That's a whole other story. But you're gonna start having issues. You know, once an engine reaches 1,000,000 miles, you need to start preparing to rebuild that motor. Now here, I'm gonna tell you, these newer trucks, you'd be lucky if you get 1,000,000 miles. And when you gotta rebuild that new truck, those guys that go and put money down for a brand new truck, let's say they stick it out somehow and they manage to pay it off in 5 years. When that engine goes, and it will go, it's not if, it's when it goes. That's your ass, Mr. Postman, because that engine's gonna cost you thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to rebuild that freaking motor because of all the components. Compared to a 2005 Century like what I had, or a 99 or something like that you can put a Detroit 60 motor in, that you can buy a fully rebuilt Detroit 60 motor without, you know, depends if you buy it without the components. If you're buying, if you already have a truck that you're rebuilding a motor, then you have the components. You have your alternator, your starter, you have your wire, you have all those components. You can buy a motor that's fully rebuilt for like 10 grand. Now you got a brand new motor. You cannot do that with a newer truck. A DD15 motor, look up and see how much it is to rebuild one of those. Cummins IXS, look up and see how much is a rebuild kit for one of those. But anyway, I recommend you go with an older truck. You want to make sure that the mileage is not high. You know, anything from, I would say, 400,000, even 500,000 miles and less to start is good. If it's like a Detroit 12.7 or 14-liter or a Cat 6NZ, that's a good truck to start with. And and there's a guy that's telling you that he's got a truck with an overhaul. Make sure that you see paperwork, because that's another critical thing. Make sure you got paperwork, because guys lie out there. And always check your blow by. So that's what it is, guys. If you're starting with your own company, you want to be an owner operator, you want to look at the truck you get, man. And guys, listen, another thing is about the automatic trucks. I know people that got automatic trucks that got newer trucks, and I know people that got newer trucks that are manual trucks. The difference here is this. One of them has a manual truck. He has a DD15 motor. When his motor, he already removed the DEF. His truck already, the guy with the manual truck, his truck is a 2013 or a 15, something like that, Cascadia. Beautiful truck. And but he has a DD15 in there. His truck is running good, but when his engine goes, which those DD15s usually like 1,000,000 miles, they're done. When his motor goes, all he has to do is take that DD15 out, throw it in the bottom of the lake so alligators can play with it, and then you grab, I'm just playing, And then all he has to do is go buy himself a 14 liter, because he's gonna have to buy an EOD truck. You're not allowed to put old engines in new trucks no more, at least for now. So he's gonna have to go get himself like a 12.7 or 14 liter Detroit 60. That, you know, and that's 2002 or up, or 2001 up, and he can just put that sucker right in his Cascadia and he's riding, because he's already got the Ian Fuller 10 speed. Throw that sucker in there and he's gonna have a great engine. That truck will last him forever. Now you got the look of a new truck, aerodynamic, the economy, the comfort of a new truck with a great motor. Then you got a truck like my buddy that has he has an automatic truck. And I did warn him when he was getting into it, but it is what it is. That's just what that's how it happened. When he went and started his company, they forced him against his will into an automatic truck, and he stayed there. I have a cousin did the same thing. So now they don't drive stick shift, and that's a big problem, because now he has an automatic truck. And out of the three of us that had IC that did the Snyder Finance program, he's the only one that had this truck still. But he's reaching that mark where you're starting to have DEF issues and all that, and he's getting ready to remove the DEF off his truck. Now his truck's still low mileage. He's good. Once he removes the DEF in the region of that truck, he's gonna get he's got miles to put on that truck still. But eventually there's gonna come to a time where you're going to have to rebuild the motor, and he's gonna be better off just trying to sell that truck before that time and getting into another truck. Why? Because those motors are real expensive to rebuild. They're over 20 grand to rebuild. And then those transmissions, automatic transmission, they're gonna start having problems. Those things are super expensive as well. So, and he doesn't have the option to just pull that DD15 out and throw a 12.7 Detroit in there or something like that, or 14 liter, because he's got an automatic truck. He's gonna have to, he'll have to, because he would like to go manual. But for him to go, I think you could put a 14 liter with the automatic tranny. I don't know if they're compatible. But I know that if he wants to have a manual truck, he's gonna have to get a whole tranny, the motor. He's gonna have to get drive shaft. It's just, I think even the differentials. I mean, those automatic trucks. I highly recommend, if you're an owner operator, you're looking to buy a truck that you're gonna keep, and you'll stay away from the automatic trucks, and just go with an older truck. Like, guys, let me tell you, Freightliner Centuries and Columbias, in my opinion, are the best truck to start with. As an owner-operator that you want to own your first truck. They're freight shakers, but they're freight shaker money makers. Don't get it twisted. Those things are economical. I call them transformers. You know what I'm saying? I've already had 3. You know what I'm saying? I just got this classic, and I'm telling you right now, they're great trucks to start with, especially if you buy it with like an overhaul done or a great motor in it with low miles. You're going to make money with that truck. That's what it is, guys. This video got real long. I think this is the longest video that I ever did, guys, but it was informative. And if you guys stuck through it to the end, thank you so much. If you like the video, thumbs up, thumbs down. If you don't, it's all good, it's all love. Remember, guys, be smart when you're making decisions, when you're going into an operator, and don't just jump into things with your eyes closed. Always have your eyes open, know what you're doing, talk to the truck drivers, ask questions. And that's what it is to be a successful owner operator, man. It's your boy Darkkell, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.